Snowmobiles, I guess I've always been interested in them since I was a kid. My first snowmobile was a Johnson ski horse, you know. It was just not much of a snowmobile, but it was fun, you know. But the Sno King thing, we bought the old Arctic Boss Cat in 1981, and we bought it right from Arctic. This is at the time when they're going through the restructuring or whatever. But you know, we went up there. I said, I want to study this thing. I want to see how they did it because I want to build a speed sled. And they said, well, why don't you buy it? And I said, I can't afford anything like that. And he wrote a number down on the piece of paper, and I go, yeah, maybe I can. And so me and a friend of mine, we bought it. You know, the sled looks awesome. It looks like something that's out of Star Wars, you know. But we finally got hooked up with a lady that was putting together a speedrun series, Meg Greenhow, and she hooked us up with Budweiser. And it was a 10-year ordeal with Budweiser. Not a major sponsorship, but without them, we couldn't have done it. And we sold the Boss Cat to a collector because I knew this thing has to be in a museum someday. And it went to a collector up north in northern Wisconsin. I went and bought a Top Fuel chassis, and I put the engine that we had in the Boss Cat 1, and it was Sno King 1. Now I had my Sno King 2, so this was a little more modern. It was a rail type dragster, and that one was just a dream to drive. It was like driving a Cadillac on a Sunday afternoon.
And a V8 automotive engine?
I had a big block Chevy, 468 cubic inch, alcohol injected, supercharged. It had a 2-speed Lenco drag racing transmission in it. I mean, it was quite awesome for the time. In the drag racing world, it probably wouldn't have been much, but in the snowmobiling world, it was quite a hit. But we had that machine ultimately up to a little over 200 miles an hour and a quarter mile. Our 200-mile-an-hour run was on an exhibition pass, and I blew the tracks off it, so there's no way to make another run anyway. But anyway, they shortly after that, maybe a few years go by, and they changed the rules again. It had to go down to snowmobile engines. No more car motors, no more boat motors, you know. And Yamaha was interested, and they gave me 7 VMAX 4 engines at the time. And I put 4 of them into the sled, and that's the sled that sits into the Hall of Fame right now. But I coupled up 4 of those engines, and with the help of a little nitrous oxide, I ended up with right around 800 horsepower. The snowmobile never really performed as well as I wanted to, but I did prove a point to myself that I could do it. You know, I'm a builder. I mean, I just make things, and you know, I'm probably the only individual that's ever built a 4-engine snowmobile other than the factories. You know, without support. You know, and a little bit of help from Budweiser and a little bit of help from Yamaha. You know, you can't do it by yourself. You know, you got a lot of friends, and you know, and I give my wife and my friends all the credit in the world because, I mean, I'm only one guy. You know, I get all the glory.
Was yesterday the first time you saw the Sno King sitting in the Hall of Fame?
Yes, it is. It's pretty awesome. Yeah. I don't know. It's hard to explain. It was a little bit emotional. I mean, this is about 3 years of my life tied up into that sled, you know. And, but yeah, that was really cool. You know, to be in a place like that with that much history, it's just totally awesome. My name is Paul Groth. I'm the driver and engineer of the Budweiser Sno King. As you see behind you here, the snowmobile is a dragster-style snowmobile. We use it in speed runs, and it has 4 Yamaha VMAX 4 engines, 4 750cc 4-cylinder engines in it. We're producing right around 900 horsepower, and so far our fastest speed is about 146, so we're shooting for a little bit higher speed and trying to keep it rolling here. We're hooking everything up with twin tracks, and we've got an automotive style drive line in it. And the machine has been virtually flawless as far as mechanical lately, but there's always some gremlins. If you ever try to tune anything with 16 cylinders, you'd probably find out. We've got a standard automotive type parachute on there, if you can imagine. Getting going on ice is just as hard as trying to stop on ice, so we have an auxiliary parachute. If I'm going fast enough or if I need it, I just throw it out manually. So whenever I get through the end of the quarter mile or 1,000 feet, whatever we're running, that's when the laundry goes out, and hopefully it catches.
The Bud Sno King is a funny story. I collect old snowmobiles and race machines in particular, and a friend of mine says, hey, there's a cool machine on eBay that you need to look at. And so that's how the Bud machine was acquired, through eBay. And after purchasing the Bud sled, I become good friends with Paul Groth, the designer and creator and driver of the Bud sleds. And we're good friends of these days, and he still has some speed tricks up his sleeve.
What's it like to see that thing sitting in the Hall of Fame?
It's a dream come true. It's where it belongs. It's a lot of technology, a lot of sweat equity, a lot of history sitting there. That's where it belongs, and I'm glad it's there.
I'm riding a 440 Cyclone.